What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review of Southern Charm, excuse me, season 2, episode 4. So I guess we're just going to call this the Reagan show because every episode is about Reagan and this whole situation with her and Jeff. And don't get me wrong, it is sensational because of everything that's going on. But at the same time, it's like, all right, y'all, let's move on to something else. So we pick up where we left off 2 weeks ago when they're doing the ghost tour through the French Quarter. Um, and of course, excuse me, y'all. And of course, everybody is just talking about, the announcement that Reagan just made. And of course, everybody's kind of giving Jeff the side eye, like, you all right, you all right. And Jeff is like, I really wish she had done this at the end of the tour because now I got to sit here and everybody giving me the little, oh, poor Jeff look. But Reagan, of course, doesn't care about how it affects anybody but her. And she got it off her chest, so she's good now, and everybody's supposed to just be cool with it. They end up finishing up at Muriel's, which is a famous haunted restaurant, and they went into like this seance. Some of the people stayed back. Justin ain't fooling with no seances, and Kelsey didn't go. Rachel didn't go. I think everybody else sort of went in. John, I don't think did John go? Don't remember. So anyway, they're sitting down and they have I guess a medium there or whatever. I'm not sure what the right word is. And she's going into, I guess, trying to tell them about the ghost and, you know, doing her thing. Yeah, she was a medium. And she kept trying to call names and they were like, no, no, we don't know nobody here. Okay, do y'all know what John? No, no, no. A Jim? No. A Bill? Well, I do know a William. I'm like, y'all just gonna make this work. She ain't know nothing. So that was a bust because at that point it wasn't nothing she could tell me that I would believe. Cause hell, you done went through 4 names before you got to one that somebody thought was connected. But neither here nor there. She says, well, I would like to know what my grandmother, I'd like to talk to my grandmother. Jeff was like, yeah, let's talk to your grandmother. I knew your grandmother. I was like, okay, now we're gonna have a dick contest. Cause of course now, Reese is sitting there like, okie dokie, Jeff. You know what I mean? So it's just uncomfortable for everybody. Um, Rachel goes to talk to Reagan, and I like what Rachel did. Rachel had a cute little exercise. She had a dozen eggs. She said, every time I mention somebody's name or situation, I want you to pick up an egg. And she went through your mother, your sisters, your aunties, your this, your that. And when she got to Tamika's name, Reagan's hands were full and she ended up dropping the egg. She was like, see, that's us. Those are your friends. You dropped the egg. See? She's like, yeah, but it's not broken. She's like, okay. So she kept going. And then when she finally got to the end, she said, now whose name did I not call? She was like, Jeff. She was like, exactly. She said, you are juggling so many things. And Reagan was like, and this isn't even a half of it. She was like, exactly. She said, well, you know what? Let me explain something to you. And for the next 3 hours, because they showed the timestamp at the bottom of the screen, for the next 3 hours, Reagan sat there explaining everything from beginning to end and how she got to where she was um, with Reese. Even how she contacted him on Facebook and how things were really bad and how they were faking for everybody last year and the marriage was just really in a bad place and how she doesn't understand why Tamika feels that way because Tamika knew how bad things were. And Reagan was like, Rachel was like, it's not so much that we didn't understand how bad it was that you just weren't communicating it with anybody. Um, so when they get done with that, Reagan says, well, since we're talking about eggs, I'm pregnant. She said, now you understand the sense of urgency with the wedding because both sets of parents are like, y'all going to get married before this baby gets here. And, so it also understands why her parents were all like cool with, him giving the ring and all that other stuff that kind of went down. On the flip side, Jeff went on a date. And at first I was a little nervous. I said, oh Lord, this don't look like it's starting off too well. But it ended up being pretty good. The date ended up going really well. Um, and when Reagan got done talking to Rachel, she was like, well, I guess I better let Tamika know because of course she's like, now I done told Rachel, I gotta tell Tamika. So we see Tamika meet up with her best friend from last year. I forget the woman's name. But the one that what I like about her is she'll call Tamika on her shit. It ain't too many people that'll call Tamika on her shit, but she'll definitely call Tamika on her shit. And while they were sitting there talking, and Tamika was kind of giving her the update on what was going on with Reagan and Jeff, and they were talking about their son, and just doing girl stuff that they catch up when they talk. Tamika's phone rings, and it's Reagan. And Reagan ends up telling Tamika that she's pregnant. And of course, Tamika knew. Tamika had figured it out. Tamika's like, I already knew. I was just waiting for you to tell me. Um, and Tamika's thing is like, legit, I'm happy for you. Like, I am legit happy for Reagan. But this whole situation is still crazy. And then she goes to say, oh, so who else knows? And Reagan was like, well, the families know. And I told Rachel yesterday. She came, oh, so you told Rachel before you told me. And her friend was like, stay. Basically, she was like, stay in your lane. Don't make this about other things. She's telling you, stay in that moment. And Tamika was like, you're right. And that's why I said I like her, because Tamika was getting ready to go way left field. It doesn't fucking matter that. And Reagan said, well, Rachel came by the house last night. Like, she came to see me, and I told her. So, and Tamika's thing is, it's crazy. I'm legit happy for Reagan, but this whole situation is just crazy, which it is. It is just so ridiculous. Because Reagan was like, well, it was just I always wanted children, but I didn't want them this soon. You old enough to know how to stop that from happening, and I know nothing is 100%, but you ain't gonna sit here and tell me you were married for damn near 10 years and never got pregnant, and you get back with your ex-boyfriend for, well, according to them, 6 months, but he left the cat out the bag. It's been a year. But neither here nor there. As soon as, like, not even before your divorce is final, you're pregnant. Like, I don't know. Anyway. So, the big thing this episode is the housewarming party. This review ain't gonna be long. The housewarming party. So we see them getting ready for the housewarming party for Reese and Kelsey. Barry has been ready to have the fashion show for his um athletic wear clothing line that he's releasing, and um he's waiting for the prototypes to show up. Tamika is like, are you sure they're gonna be here in enough time? He was like, don't worry about it, I got it covered. They're already on their way. Tamika was like, all right. She was like, you being real nonchalant about this. So of course there's some foreshadowing with that, but he's gonna get the guys to walk for him. And Tamika actually has a cheerleading squad that I guess she sponsors or coaches. And so those young ladies are gonna walk. They're gonna model the women's wear. So we see the housewoman, and it looks really nice. I keep saying Reagan. Kelsey looks like she put a lot of work into it. They have a private chef, and they've got the flowers are beautiful, and they've got a bartender there, and everything looks really, really nice. And Kelsey and Justin have a conversation before the wedding. I mean, let me slow down. Before the party, because I said wedding, and the two of them ain't nowhere near getting married. Um, and Justin tells Kelsey, like, look, I really want you to feel like this is your space. Like, this is your space. This is as much your house as it is my house. And if there's a problem, you ever feel like, there's a situation, you let me know. I'll have your back. You want to put somebody out? We'll put them out together. And they laughed about it, but I was like, yeah, we know what that's about. Tamika. And they brought Tamika up about how in the past Tamika's been really rude to Kelsey. And, Justin's like, if she's my friend, she's going to have to accept you and she's going to have to respect you, or we're going to have to reevaluate, which I think is valid. And I think he should have done that last year. But maybe in watching some of the scenes back, maybe he didn't know how bad things had kind of gotten. We see Reagan and Reese discussing the pregnancy and whether they should tell anybody at the housewarming. And Reese is like, no. Like, first of all, every event is not going to turn into our, like Reese and Reagan takeover. And two, that's just not the time we need to have a conversation. So the housewoman starts off. They agree they're not gonna tell nobody at the housewoman. The housewoman starts off, and his mom shows up. Justin's mom shows up, and it was their childhood home. It was the home that they grew up in, which was destroyed in Katrina. And he said, we don't really have a lot of pictures from the house before because it was destroyed, and it's with Katrina. But they were able to show some before and afters, and you definitely see where looks like they did a really good job renovating and just updating the home. And his mom sort of went through certain things in the house, and come to find out that um they said the guy's name, but he worked on the film JFK. Um, Jim Garrison. I'm sorry, Jim Garrison. His name just popped up. Jim Garrison. Um, that was, I'm not sure if, I guess it was his house beforehand, and so the bookshelves where he did research on the JFK murders and things of that nature. Um, were done in that house, and how she, really didn't want to get rid of the bookshelves. But she said, you guys did a really good job. It's really nice. And, it's different from the way me and your dad had it. But of course, you guys are millennials, which they're really not millennials. But, we expect it to be, updated and different. But she didn't stay long, but she definitely, gave her stamp of approval. She did ask about her chandelier. She wanted to know. She said that chandelier was historical. And I was just like, it's gone now. But Justin was like, yeah, we still have it somewhere, but I don't think they do. But everybody starts showing up for the party and everybody's having a good time. Jeff lets everybody know he went out on a date. Did I talk about Jeff's date? I did. That he went out on a date and that and it went well, but he was a little nervous about bringing her to the party because he, didn't really want her to get the third degree. He didn't want to feel like he was on display. And just kind of didn't want to put her in that situation at first. But Reagan and Reese show up, and of course, Jeff is starting to feel a little. He starts drinking more. They're talking about the wedding, and and now he's like, okay, so on top of the fact that y'all engaged, y'all trying to get married tomorrow. He's like, what is the sense of urgency? And I think the light bulb went on at a certain point, and you just saw that Jeff just kept drinking. He just kept drinking. He just kept drinking. And at a certain point, Jeff went over to Reagan and Rachel, and he starts talking about, well, all your friends like me better anyway, and they're all on my side in this because they think you guys are just moving too fast and y'all are just doing stuff too fast. And and Tamika was like, you know what, let's go talk, because she could tell that he's drunk. And she was like, you kind of putting us in a bad, like putting us in an uncomfortable situation. So she pulls him to the side to have a conversation with him, and he's drunk and sloppy and slurring. And she's like, you know what? Stop acting like everything is okay. Like, it's okay that it's not okay. But you are masking it. You are, you know, you are, passing it off, when at the end of the day, and he was like, you know what? I'm okay because I know she's making a mistake. And y'all know she's making a mistake. And they're loud, like the whole party can hear them. Oh, my fault. Rewind. Earlier on in the evening, Reagan did tell Kelsey that she's pregnant. Because Kelsey was just like, why y'all in such a rush to get married? Like, what's going on? And she went on and let her know what the deal was. And she was like, oh, well, now that makes sense. And of course, Tamika mad because she didn't ask the girl, Reagan didn't ask Kelsey to be in the wedding. Tamika was like, what? What's going on here? Oh, so now she's in the wedding? I'm like, Tamika, God darn, like, why are you such a damn hater? Like, I don't know what it is that she does not like about Kelsey, but she does not. But anyway, Tamika and Jeff, they get to arguing, and Tamika is kind of like, look, stop pretending like everything is okay. It's not okay. And it's okay that it's not okay. And Jeff is like, what you talking about? Like, I'm fine. Now, while this is going on, Reagan is talking to Rachel and acting like she don't understand why Jeff is tripping. And Rachel was like, I just want to shake the shit out of Reagan because she's so in her own world. And they flash back to last season when Rachel was trying to talk to Reagan and she told Reagan, you move to the French Quarter by yourself, you're going to end up divorced, like point blank. She was like, I tried to tell her, like, this is where we would end up. But she was so caught up in her own little world and how she wanted things that this is where we ended up. And now she's acting oblivious and don't understand why everybody tripping. They did call Jeff's girlfriend on the phone. Not, oh Lord, it's not his girlfriend. The girl he went on one date with. And, it was cute for a minute or whatever, but I don't know how I feel about the guy I went out on one date with, his friends calling me from a party, telling me how beautiful I am and how much he been talking about me. That might freak me out a little bit. But okay, it was cute for the moment. It was cute for the moment. So they're getting loud, and, Tamika Barry comes over and he's like, what's going on? Like, how did this, and Tamika's like, he's just acting like everything is okay. And I need him to not act like everything is okay. So then Kelsey comes over, and Kelsey is drunk. And we already know when Kelsey get drunk, she get loud and sloppy. And Kelsey was just like, "What's going on? This is my house. What's going on? Y'all are too loud. Lower your voices in my house." And she's putting her fingers all in Tamika's face. Now, I don't normally be siding with Tamika. Tamika's usually extra. But in this moment, I'm really with Tamika because I'm just like, why are you putting your fingers in Tamika's face? First of all, Tamika, maybe they were loud, and that's all you had to say was, "Can y'all lower y'all voices?" But I think she was so ready after Reese sort of put that battery in her back and was like, "If we need to put anybody out, you let me know, and I got your back." And she been wanting to give it to Tamika all this time. I think she took whatever the first opportunity that showed up that she could give it to Tamika, and that's what she decided to do. And she got ready to pull Tamika out there. Told my Tamika, "Get out my house. If you can't respect my house, you can get out my house." And she went to go grab Tamika again. There was no need for you to put your hands on Tamika. Tamika went to yank away, honey, and that was the end of the episode. I said, "Oh Lord, this about to be a problem." So anyway, that was the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments, please.